Alright, so today we're going to work on writing equations from word problems. I know we kind of did this last week for a little bit, but we're going to kind of practice it more because we're going to do just word stuff this week. So first thing we want to do is, after we read our word problem, identify the initial value and identify the rate of change. So the initial value, that's going to be your b value in your y equals mx plus b. Okay? That's going to be your b value, the initial value. Okay. Then we want to identify our rate of change, which is going to be our m value. Write it into our equation. Then lastly, replace our y and x with variables that match our question. Okay. So let's look here. Which I can't write in yellow. I'm not going to write in yellow. All right. So first things here. We're going to find our initial value. So you save $15 a week and put it in a bank account. You start with $200 in our bank. So there's our initial value, is the $200. Okay. I know my b is going to equal 200. Okay. Then our rate of change here is $15 per week. Okay. So that's our rate of change. So that is my m value, 15. Now, if I were to write this in my equation, I would write it like this: y equals mx plus b, or let's replace our numbers. Y equals 15x plus 200. Now, if I want to replace the variables, really, my s is going to be my savings, right? Total savings is going to be $15 per week, okay? And then plus 200. Almost what I should include here is x equals weeks, y equals savings, okay? Let's do another one here. And we'll kind of figure out what x and y equals as we go. X, y. So a plane takes off and rises 10 meters. I should have wrote meters in there for a second. Okay. So our initial value is not there. There's nothing there. It says we start here. Now we can assume our initial value is 0. Okay, because we're taking off. We start at 0 height. Then our rate of change is 10. M equals 10. Okay. If we kind of look here, it's 10 meters per second. So realistically, y is seconds. Sorry, x is seconds, and then y is going to be height. Okay. I forgot an e in there. Or altitude. So our equation here, we just write it as normals. As normal would be y equals 10x. We're not going to include anything because we don't have anything. And then our adjusted equation is going to be a equals 10s, as in our altitude equals up 10 every second. Okay, if we take a look at this one, we are first going to identify our y-intercept, our initial value. So plane you are on / in descends at 20 meters per second, and you start at 10,000 meters above the ground. So here's our initial value. So we start at 1,000 meters. So that's going to be our b value, is 10,000. Okay. therefore our rate of change, it says it right here, rate is 20 meters per second. Now, you have to remember this word descends. So if it's descending, it's actually going to be a negative number. The rate of change is going to be negative 20 meters. Okay? Or just negative 20 fits just fine. So, after we look at negative 20 here, let's rewrite our equation as is. Right? So y equals negative 20x plus 10,000. Now, let's figure out what x and y mean. X and y. X is always easy to figure out because it's attached to the rate of change. So it's per time. X is going to mean seconds, where y is you're planning your height or your altitude. So let's go back here and we're going to write the equation again. But we're going to replace it with letters for variables here. So this is going to be altitude this time. Instead of y, we're going to say altitude equals negative 20 s plus 10,000. Here's our equation for that one. Okay. Now this one here, I should slow down a little bit, let you catch up. This one here says the value of the phone goes down $5 per week on its own, and you buy the phone for $600. So I'll let you figure out which is our initial value here. Our initial value is going to be our 600. Okay, so that's how much it costs us to buy it, a one-time payment. And then our rate of change is going to be $500 per week. Okay, X, Y, then this is what, $5. Now it's going down, so that's actually going to be a minus 5. Now in terms here, something just fell over behind me. In terms here, the value of the phone, so this is going to be V for value, and X is our weeks. So rate of change goes by week. So if we write it as normal, Y equals negative 5 because we're going down in values, X plus 600. Then if we replace it with what we want here, value equals negative 5 per week plus 600. So now this is a tough one. So initial value first. Your gas is 9 liters per 100 kilometers of gas. You start with 50 liters in your tank. Well, if we start with 50 liters, that must be my initial value, right? So my B is going to equal 50. Then my rate of change is the per, so it's 9 liters per 100 kilometers. Okay, so that is going to be our rate of change. Now we're going to have a fraction here. 9 over 100 equals m. All right, and if we look at our x and y values, x and y, well, our x is per 100 kilometers, right? Now we could get that down to per kilometer at the very end. This is a kind of a messy question. I wish I wouldn't have made it. Let's go per kilometer, right? And then this one here is going to be actually measuring the gas we have. So y equals 9 over 100 x plus 50. And if we write it into nice form, we'd say G for gas equals 9/100 kilometers. Oops, kilometers. Let's just use K. Okay, plus 50. That was kind of a messy question, but we'll figure it out. That's the only time I replace this question after. So for today's work, you have some questions to do. Not that many, really. How many questions did I give you? 6 questions to write out. Okay. Then, you're not done yet. Then, what I want you to do today is I've attached this to email. I also have it downloadable in your D2L. You're going to print this out if you can. Okay. And fill in all these blanks. This is what we've done so far in the past week or so. We're going to fill in all these blanks. And then that's what you're going to put in your Dropbox. Okay, you have a regular survey thing to do to see how well you did on your equations, but this is what I want you to do in your Dropbox. Okay, so have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.